Hey, I'm K. Sawyer Paul. You're watching New Sound Now. The camera I use to record the web as I'm telling stories about what's going on this week in music is in Italy right now. So I'm just gonna fire off news items as fast as I can, and hopefully we can get through this together. First thing, EMI got bought out by a giant private equity firm, and this has pissed artists off. Some artists that people have stopped caring about for a while, like Robbie Williams, have quit over it. Other artists that some people still care about, like Coldplay, say, are considering leaving as well as a ton of other artists who really aren't comfortable with the idea of being owned by a bank. Trent Reznor was going around all week talking to people and saying how disappointed he is in how few people bought Saul Williams' record. He's not disappointed with the number of people who bought it, or the number of people who downloaded it, really. He's just pissed off that people didn't pay the $5, even though the button for free was right there. Oh, and in case EMI isn't in enough trouble already, a report in The Economist just came out saying that there's a bit of a discrepancy in their budget. There's about $400,000 that they use every year for flowers. I mean, come on, guys. If you're going to go ahead and have a hookers and blow budget, come up with a better place to stick the money than flowers. Okay, so we all know the music industry is losing money hand over fist because even though they're still making CDs, nobody's buying them because they're all getting them off the internet for free or for really cheap in terms of digital sales, right? Record labels are really scared about this and they don't know what to do. So Time magazine brought up this idea that perhaps we're looking in the wrong place for music sales. And they brought up this crazy idea that, to be frank, isn't really that new. It's actually way older than most of the guys running the music business, and that is records. Now the crazy thing about this is Time magazine, which is not exactly the penultimate in up-to-the-minute youth news, might be right about this. Sales of records over the last couple of years have been steadily rising. Certainly not to the point of where CDs are or digital downloads or anything like that, but teenagers, a population of which I'm too old to represent now, are buying records again. And they're buying them for a couple of reasons. One of the big reasons is, even though they've already downloaded the record, it's still nice to have something physical that you can hold on to. And if you're going to go ahead and have a physical package, a record makes a way better collector's item than any CD would. This isn't a new argument, but the idea that there are 15 and 16-year-olds going out and buying records now instead of CDs is, and that's a pretty big development that people should pay attention to. Still, we gotta be careful not to overrepresent a demographic we know nothing about, like, say, the 30-something filmmakers who made the movie Juno and put in a soundtrack that is far too adult for any 16-year-old, at least according to the Chicago Sun. I thought it was fine, myself.
Elvis, I wasn't talking about backing. I wasn't talking about backing. I wasn't talking about backing. Or hairdos, Elvis. I wasn't talking about backing. I wasn't talking about backing. I wasn't talking about backing. It's confusing now. We're being watched by experts. We're being watched by experts. We're being watched by experts. We're being. I straight up let her out. I can't.
Living off borrowed time, the clock tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick Dastardly and Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. ICE Cole, nice to be old. Y2G Steve twice to threefold. He sold scrolls, lo and behold. Know who's the illest ever, like the greatest story told. Keep your glory gold and glitter for half of his niggas.
Vacation, it was the best time that I ever had. Shipped me back home from a secret location. My legs came back later in a plastic bag. Metal papers, metal pens, metal hearts, metal hands. Memorize the rules and
even know if we're still friends. It's so confusing. Understanding you is making me not want to do the things that I know I should do. But I trip fast and then I lose, and I hate looking like a fool. I just want your kiss, my kiss, my kiss, my. I just want your kiss.
Okay, so this week I want to spotlight something that might change the way we listen to music entirely in the next few years. It's this company called Audiosonics, and they've created a way to push sound files through ultraviolet light beams, thereby being able to limit the space in which you can hear something. Now, the possibilities of an idea like this are pretty endless. Take museums, for example. You won't have to carry around that stupid remote control thing anymore. You'll just stand on a certain spot and be able to hear the recording that describes that painting or whatever. Other ideas include the ability for every seat in a car to be hearing a different sound coming from a different radio or a different television without interfering with the other sounds in the space. This completely changes the idea of a home theater or an indoor speaker system. Right now, this technology is being used mainly for subliminal advertising.
It's not your imagination. Who's there? Who's there?
In that example, the sound was being shot from above the billboard right onto the piece of sidewalk that gave you the best sight at the ad. This could absolutely lead to some scary, eerie sort of advertising in the future. But like with anything new, equal parts scary, equal parts really exciting. I would love to have my home theater system hooked up so that while I'm watching TV, the person sitting next to me can read a book and not be bothered by it. It also, if you think about it, almost eliminates the need for headphones, because if you can make your iPod play music just directly at you and at no one else, you don't need to carry giant headphones around anymore. The sound would simply be in your internal space. If you want, you can check out a full interview with Joe Pompey done by CBC's Nora Young. She does this fantastic tech podcast, and you can check it out at the link right here. Alright, that's it for me. Again, tune in to brokendial.com and newsoundnow.com for all your music news, reviews, videos, and everything needs. Have a week.